I'm Johnnie Richardson, and this is my wife, Ila.
And we've been married
68 years.
yeah.
She was probably about 14 years old, and I told my mother I'm going to marry that girl someday. Well, I tempted you a little bit. I brought home a whole set of china from Japan, and I told her, if you marry me, you're going to have this set of china.
I think when you fall in love, it's a lot of emotion, and all that. And then as long as we've been married, 68 years, it's a lot of respect, a lot of patience, but, it's a different kind of a love, but it's, I always know he's there for me. And,
yeah, when we would have disagreements, and quite a few times we didn't settle those, but the next morning we got along all right.
He would always say to me, "But I still love you." If we were having an argument, we still couldn't agree. He'd say, "But I still love you." And so he used to, if he really knew that he was at fault, he would bring home. Yeah, I loved asparagus, but we always thought it was expensive to buy. He'd bring me home asparagus, and I said he knew he was wrong because he brought me asparagus.
She takes all the stress away from me. So when somebody asks me, how did you get to where you're at now? And I says, because of my wife. She does all the stress work and I don't have to. So I stay young and pretty and she gets homely.
I think the best part about being married is always having someone there that you can talk to no matter what, You see each other at your worst and at your best, and we've shared all of these things through the years. And
my son was on a Saturday and he was riding in the wagon to the field, and then he'd get off the empty wagon and get into the full load of corn with Grandpa, and they would go to the house. We did that all day on a Saturday, and then right at the end of the day, we went into a field across from the house and opened it up. And it was a real big load, and I sent him to the house. He talked his mother into coming back to help us. We didn't know he was coming, so all a day of getting in and out of the wagon, he come around and got in on the tongue and up in the wagon, and this time he did the same thing, only we were moving. And I turned around and yelled at Dad, and by the time he grabbed the brake, the front wheel ran right over his head. And Dad said, "We need to get a doctor." And I says, "Dad, we don't need to get a doctor." So in about 7-8 minutes, I carried him back in the house, put him on a Davenport. And our little one got up and laid right on top of him.
Johnny had to deal with seeing his son, and his life ended, and that's what he's had to deal with all these years, is flashbacks from that. I made a decision to let him go back outside. So I had the guilt of, it was my fault. And so I had to deal with that for a long, long time. We stuffed our feelings. We didn't know how to mourn, and we wanted to be happy for our children. Our littlest one was just a year old. And so we talked about it, because the girls all say they have such good memories of Scotty, and most of them are our memories that we've told them. But we didn't deal with it, and then some of the anger that Johnny dealt with through the years and some of the guilt that I dealt with through the years sort of tainted the way that, we behaved about certain things. And I just know that God can heal that. It took me a while in prayer to not feel guilty, that it was an accident. If I ever have a chance to talk to someone, to tell them also you will be happy again, you know, because sometimes at the time you think, how can I ever be happy? But you go on, you put it in its proper place, and we know that Scotty's in heaven, that we will be with him again. They told us that the chances of us staying together after losing a child were not very good, really. But, you know, we got through all of that, and I think our love was stronger because of it. Because of our age and because how long we've been together, we've had conversations about what it'll be like, because one of us is going to be here alone sometime, probably. And I said to Johnny one time, I don't think I can be alone without you. He said, you will never be alone without me. I will always be. That's the way he is. So, we always feel like God is in there doing something, you know, letting us know what we need to do. And we pray all the time. God, just show us what you want us to do. Even if I were upset with my husband, I would never say bad things about him to anyone else ever. Forgive each other for things and don't carry that on, you know. And I said my motto is love never fails. Just, you know, have that attitude that you know, you're not ever going to leave each other. You're going to be together, and you're going to see through things, because we've seen through a lot.
When you said I do, I honored that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was faithful.
How could we complain? We've had 68 years together. I mean, when you think about it, I've known him in my life since I was 15 years old. And so, you know, it's just a part of my life. And the things that we have gone through, I do believe has made us stronger. And to have our children are so kind and loving, and our grandchildren, and, you know, we have so much to be thankful for that not everyone does have a chance. And no one's going to have a perfect life, whether it's the way you treat each other or the hardships you go through, but you can get through it.
Johnny, would you choose Ila again?
I wouldn't have to think about that.
You wouldn't?
Yes.
Yes, yes, and amen.
Well, I was supposed to remark a little sooner.
Yeah, right.